Just in case you didn't hear him, I got company in real life coming, so I asked to be up first so I could not be rude to them. But Braden said, why don't you just tell them you got to come here? So I said, yeah, I'll open the door and I'll say, hi.
Well, bring them here.
Welcome to real life at my house at dinner.
Here. They would think I was crazy. Are you kidding me?
No, they don't think that now.
How many flies does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Two.
Two, but I don't know how they got in there or to do that. I don't get it. My brother used to date a dyslexic woman. He took her home and she ended up cooking his sock. He doesn't see her anymore.
Nice.
Cooking his sock. Okay. So a bow-legged doe came walking out of the woods and says, that's the last time I do that for $10. I used to be into sadism, necrophilia, and bestiality, but I realized I was just beating a dead horse. So two cows are sitting in a field, and one says to the other one, so how about that mad cow disease? It's scary stuff, right? And the other cow says, terrifying, but what do I care? I'm a helicopter. You know the difference between a woman with PMS and a pit bull?
Nothing.
Lipstick.
Yeah.
This MIT linguistics professor was lecturing his class the other day. In English, he said, a double negative forms a positive. However, in some languages, such as Russian, a double negative remains negative. But there's not a single language, not one, in which a double positive can express a negative. And a voice from the back of the room goes, yeah, right. Hey, Janae. This American businessman is at a pier of a small coastal Mexican village, and a small boat with one little fisherman is docked. And inside the small boat were several large yellowfin tuna. And the American complimented him on the quality of the fish and asked how long did it take you to catch them. Fisherman said, just took a little while. And the American says, well, why don't you stay out longer and catch more fish? And the fisherman said he had enough to support him and his family's immediate needs. Well, the American said, well, what do you do with the rest of your time? Fisherman says, well, I sleep late. I fish a little bit. I play with my kids, take a siesta with my wife, Maria. We stroll the village each evening, and I sip wine and play guitar with my amigos. I have a full, busy life, senor. And the American's like, I'm a Wharton MBA. I can help you. You should spend more time fishing, and with the proceeds, buy a bigger boat. And with the proceeds from the bigger boat, you could buy a lot of boats. And then eventually you'd have a fleet of fishing boats. Instead of selling your catch to a middleman, you'd sell directly to the processor. Eventually, you can open your own cannery. You'd control the product, processing, and distribution. You would need to leave this small coastal fishing village, of course, and move to Mexico City, and then probably LA, and eventually New York City, and then you can run your expanding enterprise. And the fisherman's like, but how long will all this take? And the guy says, the American goes, well, about 15 to 20 years. And the Mexican goes, well, what then? And the American laughed and goes, that's the best part. When the time's right, you'd announce an IPO and sell your company's stock to the public, and you get really rich, and you make millions. And the Mexican goes, millions? Then what? American says, then you could retire. You can move to a small coastal village, and you could sleep late, fish a little, play with your kids, take a siesta with your wife, stroll the village in the evenings where you can sip and play your guitar. Wouldn't that be great? So let's slave all our lives, boys and girls.
That's just the truth.
Isn't it?
It is.
Slave all your life. Okay, so take that as a lesson in life.
Right from the
You know why sharks won't attack lawyers? It's professional courtesy. You know the difference between a genealogist and a gynecologist? The genealogist checks the family tree, and the gynecologist checks the family bush. And you know why proctologists are so gloomy, don't you? I bet Endora does. They've always got the end in sight.
Oh!
We've been reading in the papers lately about terrible cruelty that someone's causing to our winged friends by the shore. As many pelicans have been found with their beaks cut off.
What?
You know, police suspect a local bill collector's behind it.
Oh!
Damn.
I believed it for a minute. Fucking people are so mean.
They are. George W. Bush and his VP running mate Dick Cheney were talking when George W. says, I hate all the dumb jokes people tell about me. And wise old Cheney, feeling sorry for his old boss, says, oh, they're only jokes. There are a lot of stupid people out there. Here, I'll prove it to you. Cheney took George W. outside and hailed a taxi. Please take me to 29 Nickel Street. See if I'm home, to see if I'm there. And the cab driver, without saying a word, drove him to Nickel Street. And when they finally got out, Cheney looked at George W. and says, see, that guy was really stupid. No kidding, George W. says. There was a payphone just around the corner. You could have called instead. This young gay man calls home and he tells his Jewish mother that he's decided to go back into the closet because he met this beautiful girl and they're going to get married. And he tells his mother he's sure she'd be happier since he knows that his gay lifestyle was really disturbing to her. So she said she's very delighted. And she says, I suppose it wouldn't be too much to hope that she would be Jewish. And he tells her not only is she Jewish, but she's from a wealthy Beverly Hills family. She admits she's overwhelmed by that. And she says, what's her name? He says, Monica Lewinsky. And then there's a pause. And then his mother says, what happened to that nice black boy you were dating last year? You know the difference between a politician and a snail? One's a slimy pest and leaves a trail everywhere, and the other one's a snail. There you go, Randy. That was for you. You know, Congress does some strange things. They put a high tax on liquor, and then they raise other taxes that drive people to start drinking.
That's right.
Yeah, my power bill went up almost like $88 this past month. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Oh, they just talk around and around in circles. I don't believe any of these people. I think they're all screwing us all. So this old teacher, this is for me, asked her students, if I say I'm beautiful, which tense is that? And one student said, it's obviously the past tense. This bank robber pulls out a gun, points it at the teller and goes, give me all the money or your geography. And the teller's looking like, what the hell? Did you mean to say or your history? And the robber says, don't change the subject. And my last one for the night. There were two cannibals who captured a man, and they decided it'd be fair if they started eating from the opposite ends. And after a few minutes, the one who started at the head says, how's it going down there? And the other one says, I'm having a ball. Hey, that's it.